And here we are again with another Mugen masterclass. Today we are working on the letter R. We have RemapPal, RemoveExplod, and ReversalDef. To start, let's work with RemapPal. Changes one of the player's palettes to another. Upon reading this for the first time ever, I didn't know you could set it to -1 like this to make it work. I've never tried using that, and I tried just now and I couldn't figure out how it's supposed to work, but I'll show it the best of my abilities. So here's the plan. Kung Fu Man has 6 palettes. Group 1 is the player's palettes. Index 1 is your first palette. If you have an index 0, I think it defaults everything to index 0 and it'll pretend it doesn't have the other palettes. So you always need an index 1 to start your palettes. He has a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? He has 6 palettes. So now we're gonna turn it so every time you do any of his attacks, you'll change palettes. According to what this thing here says, like if you remap a palette to another palette, the original one has the new palette, and if you do another one on top of that, it will not change the original one. It'll stay to whatever it is. It's very confusing, but I've never had issues using it the way I'm using it, so I don't really know if I'm doing it wrong or if I'm doing it right. So, not time to change right away. 1-1 is the source, that's the default palette, and then the dest, I like to think of it as destination. Where do I want the palette to go? I want to change it to 1-2. Then I go to the standing strong punch, and this is going to be 1-3. Light kick, 1-4, and strong kick, 1-5. Okay, and then my taunt is going to take us back to 6. Let me get rid of this. And let's see, to go back to the normal palette, let's go with jumping light punch, right? That'll put me back to default.
Fight.
So here's light punch. If you notice, I'm the same blue as player 2. Heavy punch, I'm yellow, gray, purple, green, regular. And that's how you would use your RemapPal. What would you use this for? Well, think of it as something you can use for a character like Vegeta or Goku. Whereas Goku would need a sprite change, Vegeta can literally just use a palette swap to, add his blue hair and everything. Let me show you something. This is my Super Built-in 1 Goku. He has a base palette. He has a red palette, an older Genesis looking palette, Evil Goku palette, Games Master palette, I don't know, it looks nice. And then a Kaioken palette, right? So what happens is, I would have normal Goku go from 1-1 to 113 to emphasize Kaioken. Let's see, where do I have it? Here we go. Kaioken on and off, right? So I have a variable that turns it on that affects other things like speed, well, not speed, it affects damage, defense, and health regeneration if need be. And I set him to 113, right? And then Kaioken off, I have him flash white, and then I set the variable back to 0, and then I put his PAL number back to whatever his original PAL number was. So whatever you picked your character as, your PAL number is stored in Mugen, and when you put a PAL number like this, it can revert back to it. So this way I can go from normal to red and then back to normal. Let me see the command for Kaioken. S. Okay, good. So I just use start as the command.
Round 1. Fight.
Okay, so notice Goku on the left is orange and the one on the right is red. When I do Kaioken, now he's the Kaioken palette. He goes back to orange. Player 2. He goes to red. And when it's over, he goes back to red. That's because the Kaioken is not the Kaioken, the original palette's saved when you pick the character, and a RemapPal remaps it, but it also keeps it the same. And the only way to keep track of what the original was is to use a pal number as the coding variable to go back to the default. Let me see, what's variable 20? What did I use that for? Yeah, see? Variable 20 is, normally it's 1, but when you have it, variable 20 on Kaioken's on, it does 1.2 damage, so you do more damage. This is a code I got from someone. It makes all of Goku's animations faster. I have no idea how it works, honestly. Here it's also power add, so when the variable is positive, I start to lose 10 power every few seconds, and when I run out of power, when Kaioken's active, I switch state back. So that's how all that works. And that's pretty much one of the ways you can use RemapPal for easy transformations like this, with form changing and everything.
Share your energy with me! Here it comes!
You gotta love Mugen. Next, we are going to RemoveExplod. Removes all the player's explods, or just the explods with a specified ID number. Going to Light Punch again, our favorite state. Remove all these RemapPals quickly. Okay, now I need to make an Explod. So I'll make a simple Explod. This feels like deja vu all over again. Alright, let's go with animation will be 3000, right? ID 3000, position. Let's do 50 pixels in front and 50 pixels up in front of myself. Okay, leave all this. Bind time, yeah, let's make him bind to me, why not? Remove time, animation's over. No, let's not make him remove at all. Scale 0.5, 0.5, right? Let's make a tiny Kung Fu Man thing in front of me, right? So now I have an Explod here that's in my standing light punch, and I need to remove it. Using my heavy punch, I'm going to use a RemooveExplod code. So I have to specify a trigger. Let's go with not time. And the important thing to remove Explod is ID number. Well, ID number and trigger. Both are extremely important. So my ID number here is 3000. And I'm going to remove 3000. Strictly 3000.
Fight.
So when I press light punch, I got a Kung Fu palming thing over there. And when I press heavy punch, it removes it. Now, what's it say? If I don't put an ID, it'll remove all Explods. And you may not want this because it will remove dust if your character has dust. Any effects like ground waves or auras or pixely particle effects, like just using RemooveExplod like this will remove all Explods on the character at that moment in time. Another way you can use that for your advantage is, say, let's see, let's give do I have anything in here for this? Okay, 8015. All right, 8015. So this is going to be kind of weird, right? The way I'm going to do this. Basically, pretend, if you will, this is an aura around Kung Fu Man. Okay, too big. Let me see if I can scale it even lesser.
Fight.
Too far now.
Fight.
Okay, imagine if you will, this is an aura coming off a Kung Fu Man, right? No matter what happens to me, it's always going to stick with me. But let's say I wanted to get removed if I get hurt. What I would do is go to -3, go to add a RemoveExplod code like this. I would specify the ID number, which I forgot what it was. 8015, okay. 8015. And now what's going to trigger this removal? Well, I don't want it to display if I'm hurt, right? I want it to stop. So I would put move type equals H. This means that your player has been hurt and they're in a hurt state.
Fight.
So now if Kung Fu Man gets hurt, he goes away. If he gets put in a throw, that's not a throw, he goes away. It doesn't go away right away, but that's, I don't know why that happened the way it did, honestly, but that's how you would use it. Or if you have too many exploits, you can always use this to limit the numbers down too. Okay, so now we are on to ReversalDef. Defines a reversal. If one of P2's red boxes comes in contact with one of P1's red boxes and a ReversalDef is active, then P1 will reverse P2's attack. Use with P1 state number and optionally P2 state number for creating reversal attacks. Now, ReversalDefs use the hit def parameters: pause, spark, hit sound, P2 plus everything else, right? So what's important is the attributes. So let's go into the standing medium attack, because this is what I'll use for this. Using a ReversalDef, it's super basic here, right? So let's see, trigger 1 is going to be not time. What am I going to be able to reverse, right? So my standing light punch has no hit def, so I will give it a hit def. I removed it a long time ago. Okay, so standing light punch is a normal attack. It's a standing normal attack, right? And I want my reversal hit def to only work on standing normal attacks. Pause time will be let's go with 5. The spark number is going to be 2. Offset, I'll copy and paste the offset. Hit sound. So now when the ReversalDef is active, pretty much when our red hitboxes collide, I'm going to go to a different state. I'm going to go to 211. Player 2, I'm not going to put him in a custom state, just myself. So now I have to make state 211. I'm just going to copy this, paste it, copy this, paste it, change the numbers. 11. I don't want to use these because I'm hurt. Play a different animation. I made an animation just for this right here, the reversal counter. So when he makes contact with a ReversalDef on this frame, because it's the red hitbox, and he's gonna counter and do like a headbutt. And then we need to pose add code to align the feet properly so it looks better. So I have the state, I have the animation. Let's see, so we need a pose add on frame 9. Okay. Just gonna move myself forward 10 pixels. And now I'm gonna copy this hit def. Normally I would have a much better hit def than this one. I like to have a little more parameters for air and stuff like that, but this is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to test it. Okay, so I had to cut some pieces out of the video. Basically, you cannot have a ReversalDef and a regular hit def at the same time. The hit def will take priority over the ReversalDef and it just won't work. So I also tweaked the counter state a little bit by adding a vel set and change the physics just so we can move forward. But this is how it works usually. So if the hitboxes, in this case the light punch hits this hitbox, it'll activate the counter. See how he makes contact? The spark plays, I think it's based on player 1. So my spark number is 00, and 00 is here, but I think it takes the hit spark position from P2 on P1, and then it adds a whole different thing. So you'd have to mess with the spark XY to get it to play where you want it to, like the fist. The sound, and then I'm setting player 1 into this state. This state will pause, which I'm pausing now, but it's pausing there because P2 is not moving, and it's doing all my codes and my hit def for a counter attack. A headbutt. And that's how you use a reversal hit def. Now, Kung Fu Man has a reversal hit def coded in him for an example, which is great. I forgot about it. It's called Kung Fu blocking. Basically, it's the same thing as the other thing I did, except his attributes are standing in air, all attacks. So all standing in air attacks he'll counter. No pause time because it's probably handled in the other state. The guard spark, position for the guard spark, hit sound, the state he's going to, and then priority of the sprite, so one's above the other. And then this stop reversal def here that they put it, I don't really know what this does. I mean, these triggers are a little funny to me in the way they're laid out with the 1 and 2, but pretty much having a reversal def attribute set to nothing means it just disables it. So it's on here, and then I guess at 4 ticks it's off if you're holding forward, and then at 8 ticks it's off again. I don't know. And they also add a hit override, right? So they're covering all attacks with their hit reversal def, and they're covering all projectiles with the all projectiles hit override with the same turn it off type trigger right here. So interesting that they did it like this. But let me show you how the reversal def works here in the Kung Fu blocking. It's kind of hard to do with timing because I don't have enough fingers for that. So Kung Fu blocking, his whole body is pretty much the red hitbox. So anywhere you touch, he's just going to counter it, right? So this is essentially a parry. As you can see, I got hit. I'm in the other state, which is 1310. I have a not hit by, which is why my hitbox is turned blue. I have a pause code, which paused everything except the hit spark. And I have an end command time buffer. So while I'm blocking, I can buffer in a command like a shoryuken or you know, any down forward command, down back command, whatever command I want to buffer. And they also add a change state in case you want to hold back to go to block. So if I hold back, it'll let me exit my counter and go to block. Let's see if I can time it. See? I'm already in block state while he's recovering. So this way, if it's a longer attack like a beam, I can parry the first attack and then block the rest of it. I don't have enough fingers to properly do... I guess that's how you would use it. Jeez, I'm surprised I did that. Yeah, you gotta be really fast with it, but once you hit the parry, your end command buffer time, you're increasing it, so it lets you input a command while everything's paused. And yeah, that's it. That is your reversal hit def used for counterattacks, for reversals. The key to remember is your attributes are very important. These are universal for Mugen, and also reversal hit def is best used for red boxes versus red boxes. Hit override is red boxes versus blue boxes. That's it. Thank you for watching.